everything that young 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds do. Guys, we go out, we party. Lahat ng mga ganong sakripisyo na kinailangan talaga. And it wasn't even like a hard thing to do. Yeah, naniniwala naman ako kasi it's more of a cultural thing, especially here in the Philippines. And since lumaki kasi ako sa UK, it's not really part of our culture. So parang nagulat din ako with the whole process. But it's cool. It's nice to learn kasi Filipino na naman ako. It's nice to learn the culture here. And yeah, I haven't brought that up for a certain reason.
I see. Ako naman hindi ako naniniwala sa ligawan kasi nga usually sa process ng pagliligaw, 'di ba, laging best foot forward. Ikaw ba, when you try to express your love to a person you like, how do you ensure that you are not just simply putting your best foot forward?
I mean, maraming factors din yun, Mel. Like, it's not just about putting your best foot forward. It's being true to yourself and making sure that you're showing all of your true colors. Because the worst thing, and I'm talking from experience, is getting into a relationship and nag-iiba bigla yung tao. Parang they're not putting their best foot forward. They're just putting their foot forward where they'll think that they would like them more because they're being someone else and not being their true self. So, yeah, I think it's just being about honest with yourself. And yeah, that's it, pretty much. I really value being with someone like physically. It's just parang preference ko lang naman. That's just my love language is physical touch and and yeah, but for me lang it's just not, I wouldn't survive. Siguro medyo clingy lang ako, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Good question. Becoming a father at the age of 22, 23, I guess you could say I sacrificed all the necessary sacrifices. Lahat ng mga bisyo, lahat ng mga everything that young 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds do. Guys, we go out, we party. Lahat ng mga ganong sakripisyo na kinailangan talaga. And it wasn't even like a hard thing to do. But yeah, the necessary sacrifices of becoming a young father, I embraced. So I'm in that delivery room. My life flipped upside down talaga. No regrets. No regrets. I mean, tama naman yung sinabi ni Heaven na parang every time you do a role or you work, you act, it's always best to at least try to put yourself in your character's shoes para mas authentic yung performance mo. It's also good to use something from your past or your own personal experiences, but kung wala talaga, it's a lot easier to just become the character and try your best to give an authentic performance. So for me, wala naman na specific hugot for this episode.
Okay.
Greg is he loves so fully, and it really wasn't hard to feel that love in this episode because hopeless romantic din ako eh. So parang, and it's so easy to work with Heaven. I've known her since she was 16, I was 17. So we have that connection that just comes naturally. So and it's our first time working together, no? Acting wise, surprisingly. But yeah, I'm just proud of the whole episode and an honor working with Derek Raymond again. I feel like lahat tayo kailangan talaga magpagpag after a project. especially a teleserye because I was that character for so long. And as fun as it was, you're right, it was a challenging role. Kakaiba siya. Like sobrang kontrabida, but I really enjoyed it. And it was a nice. I had enough time to kind of release from that character, and this MMK kind of brought lightness back into my approach to acting. So yeah. It's a good question. It's a very deep question. Honestly, as actors, we all have our, I wouldn't say bad days, pero meron kaming mga araw na may blockage kami, especially when it comes to giving the right emotion. Hindi talaga naiiwasan yun. But in terms of anchors, there's so many possibilities of emotional anchors, and with acting, it's an everlasting learning process. Um, you're just as good as your last project, and you'll never stop learning about yourself and your capabilities, and more emotions will come with experience. So yeah, I think when it comes to anchors, I think it's just more important on what's really true to you, something that really brings you back down and into yourself and into your own emotions. So yeah, that's for me, that's the most important thing. The first, ito masasabi ko lang, sa lahat ng mga workshops na ginawa namin nung sobrang bata pa kami ni Heaven, like we did workshops from the ages of 16, 17. All I can say is all of those workshops really don't prepare you when you're standing in a scene in front of cameras with everybody depending on you to give a good performance for the first time. Alam mo yun? Kasi workshop, it's an intimate session, you're in a room, sometimes there's cameras, sometimes there's not. But when you're in a full set, in something else, that's when I realized na parang grabe ang laki nito, ang daming nakadepende sa akin na magbigay ng good performance. And the amazing thing about it is the more work you do, I wouldn't say it gets easier, but it becomes lighter for you, the work. We would say technical ability becomes a lot more easier when you think about it from a technical standpoint. But as I said kanina, you're always going to be learning more about yourself with every project that you do. So yeah, ngayon, acting anxiety, as Heaven said correctly kanina, it's really about working together. It's a very collaborative thing. Um, and it's really important to be a generous actor to your co-actors. Have to be generous. It's the learning experience because with each MMK, it's really awesome to like learn the stories of these people that you're portraying, the beautiful stories that come along with MMK. It's very very fun. Um, for me, kahit sobrang mabigat o maraming iyakan na drama scenes, it's very very fun because you learn more about yourself as an actor. I think I've done 4 or 5 MMKs also. My first 3 were very very small roles as I was just joining the industry, and they still treated me like amazing. I love MMK. I love everyone that I work with there. And my last 2 MMKs leads with the first one was with Miss Teresa, and this one with Heaven. Just such a fun learning experience, and I hope sana in the future mas marami pang opportunities from MMK. Paparinig na ako.